That guy was really inspirational. He was out of Minneapolis, and he goes, "Look, let's have a." He circled the protesters, and he wanted to walk with them, and he wanted to parade, not a protest. And he just really magnifies what needs to happen in America. And really, it's about putting your arms around that person's shoulder and looking at the world the way they look at the world, and
Mhm.
looking at it through their lens of experience, and trying to understand, right? Seeking to understand before being understood. Being able to support their rights to protest because something is really wrong in America. And we need
Mhm.
to understand it. We need to get to the bottom of it for sure. And people like that, to me, that gentleman, that police officer, is a true leader.
Right.
He's a very essence of leadership. But you're also right. There's these people that are trying to instigate for sure. But it really is important, I think, as we think. And this isn't to tell people how to think. But
Absolutely.
if you don't have something you stand for, you're going to fall for anything. What is it you believe in really, really matters. Taking a
Right.
stand on principle really matters. And the easy way out is not the best way out. Everything takes work. And I see African American business owners that are in tears. They spent their life savings to build a business that got burnt down
Right.
within their communities. I know these people are deeply affected. And so the idea that, we can't see the humanity in people, and that values we sort of seem are, whatever. If it's easy, dirty, down and quick, those are my kind of values. In
Right.
reality, everything in life takes work, blood, sacrifice, tears. And the idea that you can just rob and steal and that's going to solve a problem. The greatest things in life I've found, the greatest endorphin producers, is you take on that hard thing and you accomplish it. You do that thing you never thought you could do, and you
Mhm.
accomplish it at some level. And it breaks my heart, quite frankly, to see what people are going through in this experience, and the idea that
Wow.
even if you
Yeah.
said, hey, have a value system, people would protest against that,
Mhm.
right? What are you, a
Yeah.
religious bigot? Who are you to tell me what to do? And that's not even the point. It's not to tell you what to do. You have to
Right.
look at
Right.
your life and say, how's it working for you? If your idea is we're going to go against all the constructs that's brought us to this advanced level of civilization, where we can send people to low Earth orbit or to the moon or to Mars, you have to ask yourself, pushing against all that, what's the point? Right? You
Mhm.
say, well, that's tradition. Well, the point of tradition is traditions work traditionally,
Right.
right? And I always say that it's like natural laws. People say there's no gravity. I'm going to go defy everything. That's in essence what they're saying. There's no gravity. And then you say to that person, well, go ahead and jump off that building. And I would say that unless you have a countervailing law, the law of aerodynamics, you're going to hit hard.
Mhm.
It's natural laws. So the idea that we're operating in this world, there are natural laws and there are value systems that absolutely work, and that people should consider that I
Yeah.
should maybe look at my construct and how I'm treating people. Because by the way, as I said in the front end of this conversation, we are all the same. The fact that you're black, white, yellow means nothing except that we're all people. And that to look at a color of skin as if it's inferior, those people are morons. And I'll say it right now, they're not thinking through it all. You cut through that skin in surgery, we're all the same underneath. We have the same blood vasculature. And by the way, it looks the same. It looks all the same. So I think there's an opportunity here, not to inflame people. There is an opportunity to look at a value system and a construct that promotes people, that lifts up people, that allows you to take any race and creed and love them.
Yeah. It's so real. Um, and I think these type of conversations are so important. They're so powerful because it really allows people to see how communication works. It allows people to see kind of underneath it all, because we're all just living from such a, just eye to brain or eye to rage or heart space. We're not processing information. And this type of this what I love about our conversations is just we just dig a little bit deeper and we look into the psychology and we understand value systems and purpose and the importance of these soft, kind of the driving forces, but also the hard mechanics of how we work. It's interesting because we talk about this before, is the limbic system, right? In the back of our brain, there's something called an amygdala. And in that is pretty much where our fear receptors are. It's fight or flight, right? When we're in our hindbrain, we're constantly looking at, should I fight or flight? And we're reactionary. We talked about this before. When you're reactionary, you are a slave to your impulse. You are not a free person. You are
Right.
in slavery. When you are just a reaction, a visceral reaction, then you have lost power. That's humanity in general. If that's the way you are, you're a slave. The work that I do is to move us to our frontal cortex, because that's where our rational mind is. That's where, even if we feel something, we pause and think. That's why meditation is so important. I pause, I think, I take it in. I've learned to process. And this is something that needs to be taught to all of us. That's why my business, I say our goal, our mission is to mass produce better human beings. Like, that's what we're here to do. This is on every level. We can spotlight the Black community right now. We can spotlight, like, this is all of us. For me, this is my grand vision. I want all of us to be able to pause and think, and to be able to process, to not just live from our emotions, When I work, every single client that I'm working with, I'm trying to empower them to see their purpose. I'm trying to empower them to not be so emotionally reactive to their negative thoughts, thinking that they're not worthy. I'm so quick to help them not be so quick to blame or victimize or say that this is the problem or that's the problem or it's not my problem. When you can get people to move to their brain, their frontal cortex, to rationalize, then they can spend the time to say, what's in my heart? And then when you can connect rational with the heart power, it's game over. You move with such purpose and clarity, and you can turn emotions, and every emotion is allowed, but you can turn them into strategy to create a world that you want. That's where purpose comes real.